Just listen. I'm sorry what I did to Compton.
You are listening to
Fire emergency.
Please don't touch him, listen. I'm sorry I killed that girl.
Just recorded all of that. You recorded
Man.
Recording what? Recording on USB?
the USB. It's the USB, I said. Welcome once again to the Grim Fix Podcast. I am one of your hosts. I am David. I am here with Charles and JR.
What's up, everyone?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for all of you who keep listening to us on a weekly basis. Those of you who have gone to our YouTube channel and have subscribed, thank you very much. If you have not done so, that was a great opportunity, the perfect opportunity for you to go follow the podcast, drop us a review, give us a couple of stars, depending on what platform you're listening to us. But it's always good to share with your friends and family. If you are watching us on YouTube, now's a great time to subscribe to the channel, like the video. For this freaking algorithm that keeps going up and down, it just keeps changing. But yes, like the video, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and you can even like click on that activation bell. I think it's called notification bell. That's the name of it. So that when we drop a new episode, you will be one of the first to find out about it, and you can see it, watch it, internalize it, and enjoy it.
Sí, de lado y todo bien sexy.
Yep. Let me see. Should I change the mode here?
Yes, you should.
Wow.
Si pudieras poner un poquito, yeah, some sax in the back, yeah.
Oh, wait. All right. So, yes. So today, first of all, we want to say I'm not sure if today is New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, or the day after New Year's Day. I'm not sure what day it is today. Why do I say this? Because I don't know exactly. I mean, if we drop our episode the day we usually drop our episode, it will be exactly January 2nd. All right? If I'm not mistaken.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm not sure if I want you to enjoy it on New Year's Eve, which everybody's in party mode. I don't know if people would want to listen to this, or maybe we might I don't know, spark something in your brain, because we will be talking about a few things, a few topics that we have today, right, to satisfy your grim needs. We have a few cases of paranormal activity that has happened either on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and years after that, right? We also have a few customs that we want to share with you from around the world of things that people do on New Year's Eve. And then we will find out, we also have a few celebrity passings that have happened on New Year's Eve. And we will finalize with one of our grim cases that we have in center stage. We will have Charles discussing some, I guess, murders that has happened on New Year's Eve. So we have a full show for you guys today.
Saw Avatar too.
Oh, did you?
Twice.
That was very grim of you.
Twice.
That was so grim. No,
Was it good?
is it?
I am not giving any reviews. You guys suck, and you guys all hate my review. So just
I just want to know: is it a pretty good movie?
What I'm gonna say is that I didn't feel the whole 3-hour thing. I thought I was gonna be like, when is this gonna end? Like, it never felt that way. I thought Wakanda, I felt it longer.
You felt Wakanda longer?
That's what she said.
Crazy.
So,
No, but compared to part one, is it good as is it as good as part one or better?
Basically, in the first one, you'll have all the explanation, all the blah blah blah. This one just goes right into the action from the beginning.
okay, stop dancing around the question. Is it good? I want to know. I want to know if I want to see it.
I
Yeah,
I
but
personally-
remember, he's like Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So I want to hear. Do you
It's
recommend
good. I
it?
really like it. It's already
Oh.
in the billions. It's already in the billions. In the
Yeah,
box office.
I saw it was in the billions.
So
It's
you're
good.
saying
It's the
it's a
same.
good movie.
It's the same as first one, but instead of in the forest, it's in the water. Let's
So
just put
you're
it that
saying
way.
it's a good movie.
It is.
All right, people. I'm sorry to tell you, but seems like I was about to say Narnia. I still want to see it though. I still want to see Avatar.
Real
Oh,
nice.
so do I.
I saw
It
it.
has a really nice 3D.
How much is a 3D theater in PR?
Well, por donde yo vivo, I'm cheap y yo voy a la primera tanda
Okay,
para que
so
sea precio de niño, right? So
Okay.
like around $6 or so.
3D?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Ahora, si tú vas para allá, para la Loza, para Guaynabo, and the city and all that, like it, $9, $10.
How much is the
$11.
IMAX?
14.
It's still cheaper than over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have been watching this week, actually, right before we started recording. I was finishing up the last episode because season 2 is supposed to drop now in January of the series
White Lotus.
Hunters.
Oh.
What you say?
Yeah, no, never mind. I thought you were
Oh.
gonna say White Lotus.
No. Like Hunters. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
Never heard of it.
Wow, man. You guys need to watch good shows. This show, so Hunters is one of those shows, I kid you not, I can guarantee you, and I challenge both of you, within the first 5 minutes of episode 1, you're hooked.
What is it about?
Oh,
It
bold
takes
statement.
Yeah, it's a bold statement,
He's got huge Weibos.
no, I'm telling you, if you like good shows, this show
You like Yellowstone. Yeah, that's not a good show.
great show, bro. That's super
No.
popping. Anyway, Hunters, it takes place in the 70s, I think mid to late 70s. And it takes place in New York City. And it's about Nazis that obviously were in the war, right? They had their concentration camp. They held the Jews captive. They killed millions of Jews. So that happened in the 40s. Go forward 30 years, let's say. There's still Nazis that are in America.
Uh-huh.
And when you start doing research, you find out that this is not a lot of what they talk about in the show. It's not made up.
No,
Because-
obviously.
Because they're talking about how America took some of these Nazis when during the war, right? They were supposed to, when the whole Hitler regime came down, supposedly the Nazis were supposed to be held captive and executed, right? Prisoners of war.
Mhm.
So the United States and Russia basically thought like, hey, there's some brilliant people on Hitler's team here. They got like scientists and surgeons and engineers. What if we keep some of these people and use them to our advantage? So America took a few, according to the show, let me put this out there. I did do some research and I did find out that report that they talk about, it's supposedly, right? I can't say for a fact. Supposedly is real. It was called Operation Paperclip, where they took thousands of these Nazis and they brought them into the United States. They gave them new names, new lives. Here's part of the American dream. Here you go. And they all ended up getting like these high-end paying jobs, working for NASA, working for the military.
Oh, wow.
So the show, I'm just going to describe the first 5 minutes. You see, this is in the South somewhere. I think Maryland takes place. family in the pool, right? Having a barbecue. Everybody's all chilling and happy. All of a sudden, the guy that's grilling, he's like associated with politics. And all of a sudden, his associate, this new guy that had transferred from Boston, got a job also there, comes in with his wife. Everybody's all happy. And all of a sudden, the wife freaks out when she sees the guy grilling. And she just starts pointing at him and starts going, "That's the butcher. That's the butcher." And she's like paralyzed. So everybody's like, like, "Oh, what's wrong?" So, the guy cooking is like, "Oh, I didn't know she was one of these like vegetarians, making a joke." And she's just like losing her shit, calling him the butcher. All of a sudden, she goes, "He's a Nazi." Fucking guy takes out a gun from under the grill, shoots his wife, shoots his 3 kids, shoots every guest that's there, and leaves her alive. All of a sudden, his southern accent goes away, and he starts speaking in German.
Wow.
And starts telling her how for 30 years he had to build this new life. Yo, I'm gonna leave it there. That show is so fucking great. I'm telling you, so 30 years later, it's a group of Jews from New York City that have identified not most, but some of these Nazis living in the city, and they're hunting them.
Oh,
Wow.
so they're Nazi hunters.
Yes.
Oh.
Al Pacino's there. Al Pacino's like one of the main characters.
Well, then if it's Al Pacino,
I'm
he's a great
telling you,
actor.
within the first 5 minutes, you will be like, "Holy shit, I need to watch this." So season 2 is coming out now in January, but season 1 came out, I think, like 3 years ago. So it's been a while.
How many episodes?
There's, I think, 11.
Okay. Short enough.
Good shit.
I'll check it. I gotta check it out then.
Eso me acuerdo una película. Do you remember? There's this movie that Ian McKellen did. That he's like this Nazi, but he's like hidden in the neighborhood, and then this kid finds out that he's a Nazi, and then he gets like obsessed with the Nazi stuff. I think it's a '90s movie. Forgot the name.
Never seen it. But yeah. That's season 2 coming out January. Hunters. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. You guys should watch it so we can talk about it. Really,
Something
really,
to look forward to.
really, really good. All right. So all right. So let's get into this whole
Charles, can you please come to the center stage, please?
It's the USB.
All right. So first of all, let's start with some in the spirit of New Year's Eve celebration. We're not celebrating, but
What?
in the spirit of New Year's Eve, geez.
Really?
New Year's Eve. Let's first talk about a few celebrities that Charles found that actually passed away, right? They passed away on New Year's Eve. Go.
I hope it's
Yes.
people that we know.
I know
There's
one
a bunch of people that I don't know who they are.
So you picked the ones that you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't know that Roberto Clemente died on the 31st of December.
Really?
Yes.
What year was that? Does it say what year?
1972.
Oh, a year before I was born.
Says Puerto Rican Baseball Hall of Fame outfielder Roberto Clemente dies in a plane crash at 38 years old. The creator of Calvin and Hobbes, he died in 1995, December 31st.
Who?
The creator of the comic strip Calvin and Hobbes. That's the little kid with the tiger.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, it says in 1997, 76 law enforcement officers killed by felons in U.S. this year.
Why?
That is a random.
Wait a
That's
what?
random.
That was so random.
In 1997,
Uh-huh.
76 law enforcement officers killed by felons in U.S. this year. So
Or was it on New Year's? They all died the same
yeah,
day?
76
Wow.
law enforcement died in 1997 on New Year's.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Betty White died on December
Betty
31st.
Betty
Betty.
White.
Well,
What year was it that she died?
Yeah, that was last year.
that was last year.
Yeah, 2021.
Yeah.
Um,
I liked her. She's very funny.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
And she was like, I think she was gonna turn 100. I think it was, right?
Yeah,
She was
American
99.
Emmy Award winning comic actress with the longest TV career of a female entertainer dies after suffering a stroke at 99 years old.
Yeah,
Wow.
man. And I think her birthday was like 4 or 5 days away, some shit like that. It was some crazy shit like that.
Yeah, I was reading that dude, the creator of Stan Lee was gonna be 100 if he was still alive. He was gonna be 100 this year.
Oh, cool.
When did he die? Was
I'm
it
not
last
sure.
year?
Not too long ago.
No, not too long ago. I think it was a couple of years back. But yeah, he would have been 100 if he were still alive.
Stanley.
So I don't know. Apparently, some actor from MASH. Never saw it.
I seen MASH. I just
So it
don't
says
remember.
William Christopher, American comedian and actor from MASH, dies at 84, 2016.
I remember MASH, but I don't remember.
And Wayne Rogers.
Who?
That Wayne Rogers from MASH. This is Captain Trapper.
I thought he said
Oh,
Roy
that is-
Rogers.
Yeah, me too. Roy Rogers.
No, Captain Trapper. It says Wayne Rogers.
Yeah, Stanley. Let me see. He was born in December 28, 1922. Yeah, he would have been 100 years old today.
That's crazy.
Actually, he would have
Today?
turned 100 today. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, because it's December 28, 1922. He was born in New York City and he died November 12, 2018 at the age of 95.
That
So,
is
yeah.
crazy.
So today is Stanley's birthday.
That's the guy.
Wow.
That's the guy with the most cameos.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Stanley.
All right.
So I
that's
don't
it.
know. There's
No
a
more
bunch of
celebrities?
other, yeah. There's a bunch of them, but I don't know half of them.
Okay. Moving on. So all right. So let's stay within the spirit of New Year's Eve, right? Let's talk about some customs, right? That people do around the world when it comes to New Year's Eve. You know, people are superstitious. Some people truly believe things and they make some type of spiritual connection, I guess, to it. And believe it or not, I feel like PR adapts most of these customs from around the world.
Mm-hmm.
So let's read from this one. This is from Barcelo.com, right? Pin and travel. These are odd New Year's Eve traditions, right? And let's take a look at Germany first, right? So this says that there are two weird New Year's traditions in Germany. The first is lead pouring, which is also popular in Finland. Each person melts a small piece of lead or tin over a candle and pours it into a container of cold water. The shape it forms into is meant to reveal the person's fate for the year ahead. Another thing that can't be missing from any self-respecting New Year's Eve party in Krapfen, a German donut that's usually jam or chocolate filled, but sometimes filled with mustard as a prank.
Ew.
Donut.
So apparently, yeah, I found this interesting. I find it interesting because I know that again, a lot of these customs that I'm reading, I feel like in PR they have adapted somewhat. Again,
That's what I'm talking about.
but some people have it in a spiritual way. Like, for example, here they talk about having they melt lead, right?
That sounds complicated.
I like that one. I truly like that one. The melting the lead and putting it in cold water.
So they wait over a tin lead. Wait, melt a piece of lead or tin over a candle, right? And pours it into a container of cold water. So when you put let's use example wax. When you take a candle, if you pour the wax into cold water, it's all automatically gonna turn hard. Pause.
Exactly.
That's what she said. And
Crazy.
the shape that it takes, they take that as a sign of the person's fate for the year ahead. So I know that in PR some people do, I think it's with eggs.
Yes.
They break an egg, right, in whatever shape they can see.
Yeah, and I also seen it with the coffee.
They did with the coffee.
Brown coffee on the bottom of the cup. Whatever shape it has is what's gonna supposedly your future.
That's the fate.
Just like Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, to be honest, I came to see the movies last year. I tried watching them many, many, many times as they came out, and I always fell asleep. Never cared to watch it. And I like the whole Harry Potter thing. I love going to Harry Potter World in Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. I think it's the freaking best. But yeah, I came to see the movies last year. All right, let's not jump into that. Let's continue. Okay, so usually tradition in Denmark. In Denmark, on New Year's, it's traditional to throw plates and dishes against your friends and neighbors. I finished reading that. You see, you're laughing because the first time I was reading, I was like, "Wait, you throw dishes at your friends?"
At people.
So it's dishes against your friends and neighbors' front doors. The bigger the pile the next morning, the more luck you'll have during the year.
The bigger the pile.
I'm throwing that shit like frisbee.
People in Denmark,
he'll catch.
This one I read in the other list that it says people in Denmark also often jump off chairs at midnight to symbolize a leap into the new year.
Yep.
In Scotland, the first person to cross your threshold after midnight on New Year's Eve is thought to be an omen for the year ahead. The person to enter the house to guarantee good luck is thought to be a tall, dark-haired man bearing gifts like coins, bread, and whiskey. It's thought that this dates back to Viking times when fair-haired strangers meant nothing but trouble.
Okay. Unless some dude comes in, not bringing any gifts. One of these serial killers walking in with a freaking gun, just shooting up everybody. Yeah, that's gonna be their future in the long run.
Now that is grim.
In Italy, let's see. There are plenty of weird New Year's Eve traditions in Italy. In Naples, people throw old furniture out the window to symbolize a fresh start. In Venice, thousands of people gather in the Piazza San Marco, where it's believed that a kiss in Venice will bring you happiness in the year ahead. Oh, and lots of people in Italy wear red on the... You see, I feel like this list sucks. Let me not read this list because I feel like they ruined the whole thing. Let's just stick to...
But I'm still thinking about that throwing furniture out the window thing, because who's going to pick that shit up the next day?
Well, you know what they say.
Because, yeah, it sounds so much fun. Yeah, let's go and throw everything out the window. Yeah. And then the next day, who's going to pick that?
I kind of sometimes, like, my opinion, I believe this is a one of those women thing when they want to change their furniture, so they use that and as an excuse.
Gotcha. Okay.
You understand what I'm saying, right? There's some women that they want to change their furniture. Their husband is like, no, we're not gonna waste money on that right now, and they just use that as an excuse to get rid of the furniture and buy some new one.
So women invented that one.
It should.
Yeah, I believe so.
All right,
don't take it to offense, girls, but hey.
Let's read from this. I feel like this list is better. This is from savorjourneys.com, right? So this one starts with the number one is in Spain. It says that in Spain, an age-old tradition involves eating 12 grapes at the stroke of midnight. One grape for every strike of the bell. If you manage to eat all grapes, you'll have a prosperous year.
At the
And
same
yet-
time?
No,
And
not
yet
at the
one by
same
one.
time. For every stroke. So, I guess
Stroke.
if you think of the whole
You
what
gotta
is it, the
swallow
cuckoo
that
clock?
shit.
What?
You gotta swallow it. You're swallowing that shit because
No, but that's
You'll
why
swallow-
they're basing it. You know how the old clocks, when it was 12, it would ding 12 times.
Ding,
So
one
for every time
one,
ding, you
one
eat
grape.
one
yeah,
grape.
but you gotta go.
But in
That is a hard
Peru,
one.
they do it under the table. And they believe that if you drop one on the floor, it's bad luck.
But why do they do it? Why is it so complicated under the table?
Like I said, they're trying to make it special.
But it's I'm so saying these custom. I mean, obviously they come from somewhere else. Oh yeah, it says it here in Peru. It's bad luck.
It's bad enough. It's bad enough that you're under the table. You can't eat it normally.
When you look at these customs, I guess it's all weird, and I mean we laugh about it, but I'm pretty sure there's customs we do that people laugh is like,
Yep.
No. The one that famous one that comes out in PR, it's totally stupid.
Which one?
Totally.
The one that's here on the
It
list?
says- yeah, it's on the list. It says in Puerto Rico, it's a custom to throw a bucket or glass of water out the window at midnight to clear out the old year and drive away evil spirits. The water is used to signify all the tears and strife of the year being tossed out, so it's not brought into the new year. Yeah.
I feel like here, see how they like added more to it.
They just wanted to make it more complicated.
You
or
know, they just
more-
want to make it sound deep. Because I've heard of people throwing water. I've heard either through the wind, and I've heard here in New York. I forgot what ethnic community does that, but I've heard other people doing that they just throw water out the window. But in PR, I've seen people where they take either like buckets of water and they throw it out, or I've heard you have to mop right before midnight.
Yeah, I've seen that
all
one.
that dirty
I heard that
water, you
one.
throw it out. Some
Throw it
people
out.
believe that you have to throw it in a cross street, like 4 streets, where there's no end, no dead ends, so that whatever evil goes and doesn't have a
Crossroads.
way to come back. Yes, like a crossroad where they can't come back. I mean, there's more to it.
So
They
it's
keep
basically the same thing, but different variations of it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But here, it's like it signifies the tears and strife being tossed out. Stop it. That's just again. Let's make it sound deeper. Okay, polar
one's
bear
crazy.
plunge.
Yes, that one is so. I would love to try that. For some reason, I would love to try it. Even though I'll scream like a bitch just putting my toe in it, but
Don't tell me you gotta bathe yourself in cold water.
So the
Yeah,
plunge,
jump into the
into
water.
icy water on New Year's Day is a tradition
God.
that has been adopted in many U.S. cities, but has a long history in Canada, UK, and the Netherlands, where thousands join the rank of people crazy enough to risk hypothermia for the plunge. The crazy thing about this is that years ago, people found this crazy, right? Nowadays, it's actually recommended to do cold plunges for health reasons. Like, I don't know, it helps, I think, your cells, like it activates, I don't know what the fuck in your body. Like it has a lot of health benefits.
It's like how
to
they
it.
say. It's like how they say to take cold showers.
Cold showers, yeah, it has a lot
Yeah.
of benefits.
Like I've done cold plunges, but so I went to this place in the city. It's called Ancient Baths. That place, I think it's amazing. I would love for both of you to be here in New York so that we can go and do that together. I think it's awesome. It's a 2-hour experience. It's totally dark. It's all candlelit. And when you look at it, you think of Game of Thrones. Think of being in one of those Game of Thrones castles. For example, think of Winterfell, right? That is like dark. and everything is
Right.
candle lit. All you see is like rope and brick. That's how it is. And then
Freaking dungeon.
that's what it looks like. But it's
Freaking
like
dungeon.
you hear all they have is like music like that, like spiritual type music. Not spiritual, but like old time folklore
Instrumental.
music.
Yeah, it's just like one of those Lord of the Ring movies.
Yeah, man. And then what you do is you come in shorts, women wear bathing suits, and they give you a robe. You have to leave everything upstairs in the lockers. You can't take in no phones, you can't take anything. And then you just go, and then they have different sort of pools, but they're called baths. So like
those mud baths?
No, not mud baths. So like the first one is the salt water. But it's so salty you don't sink. You can actually lay down
It's the
and you float.
buoyancy.
And it has like speakers underwater, so you just close your eyes and you float and you just listen to the music. It was so fucking relaxing.
Oh.
Then they have one in front of that one is like I guess like a jacuzzi, because it has like the what is it, the streams in underwater
Vibration.
So then you move further in, it has like a big giant mountain of like sand that you take, and you can like to exfoliate in your body.
Yo, not for nothing, but this sounds like they're adobando you. They're putting adobo on you.
No, I mean, but it's optional. But then you move further in, and then it has this big, it's like a pool, but it's only like maybe 3 feet deep. But that one is like 120 degrees.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then
They're freaking
in front of that,
you.
it has a
seasoning you
hole
until you get to the hot water.
No, but then it explains. It has a sign that it explains to you how you should benefits. Do it. So it has like the hot water, but then in front of that, there's a hole, like a square. That's a cold plunge. And there's one that it's like, let's say 50 degrees. And then there's one after that is like 20 degrees. So the idea is you're supposed to go
do it gradually,
colder, hot, cold, colder, hot. And then you go to the back, and it's like a private, it's like a U, but then you have like the columns. It looks super, like, again, I'm a big fan of like old architecture, and it looks old. You feel like you're in those times. And that one is just to chill. You just chill there. You can sit in the water. It has like a bench on the water where you just sit there. They bring you like little cups of water for you to hydrate. Yo, but I'm telling you, 2-hour experience, super relaxing, so worth the money.
They don't come in diapers?
Huh?
They don't come in diapers to serve you?
No.
Is that seriously?
No. Anyway, so let's go to Brazil. Also in Brazil, they have a tradition to wear brightly colored underwear to New Year's Eve celebration to bring about good luck. Red and yellow bring love and money. Gold brings wealth. White brings peace. And Rio de Janeiro, many people wear all white to the celebration.
So what color did Homer use it when he was walking down the beach?
What if I'm commando?
I don't know what to tell you.
Wear some yellow pants or something.
I don't know.
What if I don't have any underwear on? Hey, it can happen.
True.
Accidents happen.
What does that mean? Red and yellow bring love, money. Gold brings wealth, and white brings peace. So nakedness, what it brings.
Listen, many people, I'm telling you, they hang on to anything they can that can bring quote unquote good luck.
They really believe on that.
If it tells you to take a belt and tie your penis around your waist, people will do that. Like, it's like, whatever. It'll bring you good luck. Oh, okay. So Estonia, This one I found a little weird, right? So in Estonia, the traditional activity on New Year's Eve is eating. Locals eat 7 meals throughout the night, and each one gives added strength for the new year. If you're a foodie, this means like the place, it seems like the place to be. Better yet, these days, the Estonians have largely replaced the meals they used to eat with alcohol. So I guess the more you drink, the stronger you get.
Yeah, sort of. Is the USB.
Right, this is another one. This is another one that I have seen adapted in PR, not exactly the same way, but a variation of this. So, okay, in Colombia and the other parts of South America, straw dolls called Old Year dolls are burned at midnight as a way of leaving behind the bad from the previous years. This I've seen in PR when they do one doll, right? And it's called Año Viejo, and they burn it. Says Colombians also carry around empty suitcases on New Year's Eve, hoping for a travel-filled year. That I've never heard of.
I find that I've heard that one in Puerto Rico. You know, is that you feel like an ass? You know, if they, you know, what's that carrying a suitcase like an idiot, an empty suitcase just around? And...
Yeah, that I find really weird.
Hey, I think in Dominican Republic they do it also
with the luggage.
Yeah.
All right, this one I'm skipping because we already said
the jumping off chairs.
This one I found funny.
This is
Romanians. Romanians have a tradition where they wait to see if the farm animals talk on New Year's Day. If they do, it's bad luck. So everyone is relieved when the animals don't break out in a speech.
How idiotic is that one? No, I'm not trying to rag on these people's culture.
But you are.
But yeah, why? But you know, I find it's kind of ridiculous.
Who invented that?
I don't know. It's hilarious though.
It is. Because if you see an animal talk, what's the first thing that's gonna come to your mind? You know? Cha-ching. I got an animal that talks. So yeah, you're gonna prosper.
You got Babe going bar ram you.
like Donkey from Shrek.
Exactly.
Bar ram you. Babe.
Walk to the back of here. It's Donkey.
Donkey.
Let's see. All right, we got here 108 chimes in Japan. Buddhist temples, a bell will chime 108 times in a ceremony called Yoya no Kane. The tradition states that for each bell chime, one of the evil spirits suffered from the previous year is absolved. Some people also wear a costume of the next year's zodiac animal, which in 2015 is a sheep, to the temple of New Year's Eve. So based on this, I found out I am a sheep. Chinese zodiac.
Yep. Ram you.
Ram you.
Ram you.
All right. Let's see. Round shapes in the Philippines. Round shapes are said to bring prosperity. So many people display bows of round fruits on their tables. Eat round fruits at midnight and wear clothing with round shapes like polka dots.
Yeah. That reminds me of the character from the movie Suicide Squad.
Which one?
The last crappy movie that they came out. The Suicide Squad.
But what character?
Polka Dot Man.
Oh.
Oh my god, is actually somebody called Polka Dot Man?
I'm not I know you see his costume is all polka dots, and that's what he shoots out. So yeah.
I couldn't watch that movie.
I watched it, and the first one that came out was garbage. That second one is worse.
Yeah, the first one was enough for me. I was like, no.
I prefer the first one than the second.
Oh wow.
Okay, breaking plates. We read that also. Smoldering champagne. Okay, so smoldering champagne. One New Year's Eve in Russia, it's a tradition to write a New Year wish on a piece of paper, burn it, and dump the smoldering ashes, into a glass of champagne, which you'll then gulp down at midnight. Ew. No,
Oh,
no, thank you.
drinking burned paper.
Black eyed peas. The tradition of eating black eyed peas may have begun as far back as ancient Egypt as a way of showing humility and gaining favor from the gods in the new year. The tradition was adopted in the South following the Civil War, when all the slaves had to eat were black-eyed peas and pork. As the Emancipation Proclamation took effect in January 1st, eating black-eyed peas on New Year's became a symbol of freedom and is now an omen for luck and prosperity.
Eating black-eyed peas.
Wow.
And it's not the singer.
More you know.
Yeah, the more you know. I mean, I know that there's customs like I remember the show Everybody Hates Chris.
Uh-huh.
And it was a New Year's episode where they have the belief that the first person to walk into your house, I think it is, after midnight, should have money in their pocket.
Well, that sounds like the Estonian one.
So, yeah, if you have money in your pocket, then you'll have a prosperous year.
Why? You gonna take it out of his pocket?
So, yeah. So, like, I remember the mom gives Chris money and tells him, make sure to have this in your pocket. So when you get home, because he was going to go celebrate New Year's at Times Square. So she was like, you'll be the first person to walk into the home from the outside. Make sure you have this money in your pocket so that you walk in with money and we'll have a prosperous year. Anyway, that's enough of the customs. For New Year's Eve, people have different beliefs and customs, and it's just interesting, a little weird, some of them. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. Now we can jump into some paranormal stuff.
Paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the paranormal, we're going to read what we have. We have like 3-4 cases that we wanted.
Yeah.
This is a quick reads. They want to share of things that have happened on New Year's, right? And some of them have been like paranormal activities that have happened afterwards. So, JR, if you want to read that.
Yeah, this one is Lady in Red. It says, on New Year's Eve of 1920, the Drake Hotel celebrated its opening night with much glamour and tinsel. It was both magnificent and tragic. It was magnificent because the Drake was to be one of the Chicago's most beautiful and celebrated hotels. It was tragic because, according to legend, it was the night the woman in red ended her life. Okay. On this day, a man and his fiancée, who was clad, I think that's what it is, clad in the brilliant red silk gown, attended the gala held in the Drake's Gold Coast room. The man stepped away and did not return. So his fiancée went looking for him. She found him enthralled by another woman. Enthralled with another woman in the Palm Court parlor. The devastated woman climbed to the roof and jumped to her death. But why is she gonna do that? Why didn't you just walk away? Tell the guy, "Fuck you."
Should have done a scene.
Yeah, but that
mother.
No, you didn't.
You ain't taking my man.
Yo, like that's insane.
But it's stupid. Why?
What year was it?
What year was that? Asshole.
1920.
1920.
See, times were different, man.
Yeah. But still, just walk away. Keep living your life. Right, anyway, it says here, since then, guests at the Drake have reported seeing her apparition in the Gold Coast room, Palm Court, and on the top 10th floor, as well as the roof. Condemned to replay her final night, Her restless soul wanders, attempting to find peace with the final tragic chapter of her life. In addition to spontaneous phantoms appearances in her red garment, workers and guests also get a creepy and uncomfortable feeling in the ballroom. Lady in red.
So she just stalks people,
Basically, she just wanders,
wandering around.
It's like they say, they repeat the, the whole scenario, and end up
Over.
jumping off. I'm guessing that's what it is. Okay, next one. The Phantom Texter. Right? That was the one we were gonna read.
Yes, sir.
It says one story found on Reddit told of a spooky story that occurred on one New Year's Eve. A fella started receiving text messages from an unknown number on New Year's Eve that said, "I'm outside."
You just imagine that.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be scared because it could have been anybody.
It's still creepy, man.
But
Getting
from
a
an
text, I'm
unknown
outside.
number,
Okay, yeah, it is
unknown numbers
creepy.
like I'm outside. Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, the message began to escalate. And at one point, the mystery texter claimed to be inside the house watching him and friends. The text continued throughout the night, with the texter describing the guy's car and sending creepy texts while they were driving home that indicates that the texter was watching. See, now that's creepy. You're freaking driving and he's telling you, he's describing everything. Yeah. Unless you have someone in your car, So it says when others tried to call the number that he was receiving the text from, they got a message saying it was not a working phone number. While the messages eventually stopped, the fear never really went away. He later said, "I haven't dived too deep into this. One on hand, I felt that something really bad could happen if I kept probing it." Probing. Nothing has happened so far, but on the other hand, I don't have any closure, and sometimes I get paranoid about getting another message.
Okay, so this is what annoys me of. This is written by Haunted Journeys. Haunted Journeys. We were searching for stories about New Year's. Not once does this message about the text mention anything about New Year's. But yeah, I found it a pretty interesting story though.
So let's just say that it was on New Year's.
So it happened on New Year's.
So we say. What's the next one?
He said the man in the yellow coat.
The man in the yellow raincoat. It's funny what happens here. I have a little story that my wife felt the same situation, and I'll explain. It says here, the man in the yellow raincoat, the haunted Agora Theater and Ballroom in Cleveland, Ohio, has its own New Year's creepy story. A Holliday's ghost hunt, one December 31st, was planned to seek the legends that haunt this historical venue. The entity they sought most was the ominous man in the yellow raincoat. During the investigation, one of the ghost hunters felt a splash of cold water on the back of her legs. Upon reaching down to find the source, she found that her tights were dry, and there was no one behind her who could have spilled liquid. Still, a strange wet sensation remained. Tingling continued where she felt water minutes after the encounter. See, right there, that's my wife has sat down and she told me, I feel my leg wet, and when I check, it's dry. So that's why I have like mixed feelings about this story. So it's something, something in her veins. I forgot the name of it.
Neuropathy.
Yes, neuropathy. and it's that's making her feel like it's wet. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe it could be that. Anywho, this in fact is a common experience, all attributed to the man in the yellow raincoat. The iconic apparition is not shy. He has been seen on the stage, on the catwalk,
And I do my little turn on the catwalk.
and in
On the
several of
catwalk.
the viewing
On the
balconies.
catwalk. Yeah, I shake my
Well, look at
tush on
the catwalk.
Too
Too
sexy.
sexy for my shirt. Too sexy.
Sexy for my raincoat.
Okay, on the catwalk.
The catwalk and several of the viewing balconies. Apparently, he is interactive with spectators, often casting disciplinary looks when the audience is naughty. Other experiences that many encountered include doors opening on their own and the appearance of what looks like bloodstains in the basement. It could be a lot of things anyway. The Agora Theater and Ballroom has seen the performances of Elvis and the Beatles and is also home to some spirits. Besides the man in the yellow raincoat, many apparitions have been seen. A psychic once did an investigation and said the spirit's name was John. How generic. John.
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 All you hear in the background is, John.
All right, and the last one is number 7.
Channeling Norman Bates. This one is pretty disturbing, although not related to a haunting yet. According to CNN, a Florida man who told police he was angry with his mother, used an axe to decapitate her on New Year's Eve. This is the only story that mentioned basically a New Year's death. A New Year's Eve 2014. The creepiest part is the mugshot taken after the man was arrested. In the photo, he smiled like one would for childhood school pictures. The man was apparently fed up with his mother nagging him about moving some boxes into the attic. Sheriff Bob Galtieri told the CNN reporter, if that's him, he looks like him, but I'm thinking that's just Norman Bates itself. Could this have been the channeling of Norman Bates' fictitious character?
Fictitious character.
Fictitious, yeah.
This is crazy. And then
it looks like it. If it's him, it really looks like him.
Yeah.
But then you go and you watch a movie with a premise like that, and you go like, "Oh, that only happens in movies."
Well,
but it happens.
It does, but wow,
it's crazy.
Just for nagging. Hey, take up those boxes. It reminds me of well, you never seen Big Bang Theory. You gotta hear it.
See what?
Where his mother's just nagging him.
See
That's
what?
Laurie Metcalf.
Who? No.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You never seen the show. That's why. You
What's
seen
the
the
name of the show?
The Big Bang Theory.
Watching the show.
Huh? You remember when they show Howard where his mother's like,
yes,
it's in the background just screaming at him?
Yes.
That's what that reminds me of.
Hey, buddy, what brings you to my little slice of hell?
Who is it?
It's Leonard!
You're gonna have to play outside.
And then chopping her head. He chopped up her head.
You gotta have no remorse for that.
No, not at all. Like your mom.
Huge bolas and just no remorse because damn, that's your mom.
He was smiling.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Like the pictures, like. So for the last segment of this show with the grim content for the show, we have Charles.
Please come to the center stage, Charles. Center stage, please. And action.
It says you're most likely to die of natural causes on New Year's Day.
Yeah, of
And-
all the drinking, smoking, and partying.
It says, probably because you're blowing off your chest pains to keep on partying. And this is by Ariel Pardes. And I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read this really quick. It says, everyone knows that people die on New Year's, which is a buzzkill, but it's true. Half the fatal car crashes on New Year's Day are from drunk drivers, and there's a slight increase in homicides and suicides during the holiday. But January 1st is also the day you're most likely to die of natural causes, according to research by sociologist David Phillips.
Interesting.
Okay. That's
It
what
says-
just eating like crazy. Any bullshit you get.
Well, you'll see it. It's kind of weird because they still don't have an explanation for it. It says
Okay.
Phillips, along with two other researchers, studied 57 million death certificates over a 25-year period. They found a sharp spike in deaths on Christmas, the day after Christmas, and New Year's Day, which has the most fatalities. It's pretty well documented that substance abuse and accidental fatalities go up during the holidays, but their research showed a spike in natural causes of death, things like cardiac diseases and cancer, more than accidents like drunk driving.
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
The drunk driving, yeah. The natural causes of something with the heart, it's the cholesterol.
And then it says there's no obvious explanation for the pattern. The health problems aren't weather related, and even if they were, they wouldn't explain the distinct increase during Christmas and New Year's. It's tempting to blame the deaths on stress from visiting with family members or wrapping up end of year to-do lists, but the research notes a lack of evidence that heightened psychological stresses can cause abrupt, sharp increase in mortality from a wide range of diseases and for a wide range of demographic groups. In other words, finding the coolest New Year's party might stress you out, but it's probably not going to kill you. So, what's it about? In a recent interview with the Washington Post, Phillips chalked it up to a mystery, but he did offer a few hypotheses. Most of the Christmas and New Year's deaths happen in emergency rooms, which could suggest that people wait longer to seek medical attention during the holidays because they want to spend time with their families and are more likely to die by the time they reach the hospital. Alternatively, hospitals might be understaffed during the holidays, meaning you're less likely to make it if you get sent to the ER on New Year's Day. Either way, if you start feeling weird chest pains on New Year's Day, don't blow it off as a side effect or of your hangover. So basically, because if you go to a hospital, they're going to be understaffed. And
Yeah, that is so true. That is so been in that situation many of times.
so basically, you're going to die because they're going to let you die at the hospital.
Yeah, they're just gonna look you, just walk away.
And like last year for this same date, I got sick. Last year, I got sick, my son got sick, and then my wife got sick. New Year's Day, January 1st, 2022. My wife could not hold it anymore. She was like, I need to go to a doctor. I need to like check what it is, like my throat and whatnot. And we were there for 4.5 hours waiting outside in the cold because it was still during COVID.
Wow.
We were outside for 4.5 hours so they can finally bring her in, do a COVID test, do a strep test, and send her home. That's it.
Wow. 4 hours just for that.
That is crazy.
No,
So
but I've seen it plenty of times. They're understaffed. Why? Because they all decide to go on vacation just for that time.
So, si te va a pasar algo, asegúrate de que no sea para cuando se acabe el año. Because
No,
you're going to
of
be
course not.
screwed.
No, of course.
You're going to be screwed. And then I got this other list that's from ranker.com. And it says the most terrifying things to happen on New Year's Eve.
Did you
And
say
they
wanker?
Wanker.com.
You know, you asked me the same thing on the last episode. Did you say wanker?
Wanker.com.
It's
Yes,
ranker, ranker with R, right?
Yes, let me say
I said you
wanker.
say, I don't know. You say it so fast, it sounds like wanker.
Yes, wanker.com.
Wanker.
It reminds me of Stewie.
You know, I think you should all be nicer to Will Wheaton.
The way I treat my colleagues... Wait, what?
I said you ought to be nicer to Will Wheaton.
You mean Will Wheaton?
Yes, Will Wheaton.
Why are you saying it like that?
What? I'm just saying you should be nicer to Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton seems like a nice guy.
Will Wheaton. Will
Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
The whip.
Will Wheaton. A while. A while.
The whip.
The whip.
All right. So it says, while many enjoy the thought of celebrating the New Year and look forward to all of those special things you only do on New Year's Eve, for others it becomes a New Year's Eve nightmare. And they mention a few, and this one is a funny one because, well, creepy / funny. It says, a naked man was creeping around a couple's home on New Year's Eve in 2015.
Okay.
And it says, on December 31st, 2015, of Vestavia Hills, Alabama, a couple found something really creepy going on outside their home. A naked man wearing only a Ronald Reagan rubber mask and a sock covering his private parts was wandering outside of the couple's home.
I could imagine it's somewhere hot because walking in with this brick outside, yo.
Yeah, but
Alabama.
a Ronald Reagan mask and a sock covering your whales.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you see
Yeah,
that
how
shit.
do you-
Yeah, you're gonna get scared, right?
No, it's creepy, but yo, I think I would laugh my ass off seeing a Ronald Reagan mask and somebody naked. And a
That's
sock.
like in, where is it that they do that? But it's not a Reagan mask. They wear one of the president's masks. And then that 70s show
Uh-huh.
when Eric, they're doing the president's coming over and they're trying to do the protest. And he does a streak naked. And he wears one of the president masks. And he's like,
I didn't see that
wee,
episode.
pee, pee.
And then it says the nude man had just entered the breezeway of the house when he was discovered by Danielle Yancey and her husband Bart. Once they noticed him and began yelling at him, the man promptly fled the home. The couple were later able to show police surveillance video of the suspect, but cops were never able to find the naked Ronald Reagan.
The naked Ronald.
So-
I can't get over that. Naked Ronald Reagan.
A naked dude with a Ronald Reagan mask creeping around your house. Just
I
randomly.
see that. I think I laughed my ass off.
I have another one that says a person attended an extravagant 2006.
Hey, so who died? Nobody died there?
No, it's just
Okay.
creepy shit.
Okay. Gotcha.
Well, it says a person attended an extravagant 2016 New Year's Eve party and was shot dead by the homeowner. An exclusive New Year's Eve party took place in 2016 in Cypress, Texas. The party was invite only and had a guest list of approximately 200 people. The 48-year-old homeowner told police that his son was the one holding the party. One particular guest that evening had too much to drink, and the homeowner asked the person to leave. When the party goer refused to leave, the homeowner stated he had no choice but to shoot the person. By the time police arrived at the house, the person had been shot was dead.
Okay.
No remorse.
Going out with a bang.
Bang
Yep.
bang.
Damn, on a party, man. New Year's.
You just kill somebody just for the heck of it.
For the hell of it, just because he could.
Yeah.
Let me see. I have another one right here. This one, nobody was killed, but it reminded me of Project X.
Project
It
I
says,
still haven't finished watching that movie. I think I
You
started
haven't?
watching. I started watching it like 3 times, and I still haven't like.
so it says a couple came home from their 2016 New Year's Eve wedding only to discover a wild party taking place.
Nice.
It says that this couple from Montreal, Canada, wanted to start 2017 with a bang. What better way to bring in the new year than beginning a marriage? The couple was probably quite busy with their wedding day plans as they forgot to turn off the instant booking option they had set on Airbnb, which they often used to rent out their 2 extra rooms. The couple had already rented out one of the rooms on that night, and when the second one was automatically rented out, the couple tried to cancel the reservation to no avail. The renters promised they'd be super chill, so the couple went forward with renting out the room. Imagine their surprise when they returned home from their wedding at 2 a.m. on New Year's Eve to find a party taking place in their apartment with a full-on orgy and drugs galore.
No.
That was the USB.
The renters
it was a
later
USB.
USB. The renters later cleaned up their mess, left a note apologizing to the property owners, and left a 5-star rating for the couple on Airbnb.
Wow. Can you imagine that you get home, you all tired and shit,
and you find like people trashing your house and
people
like
fucking in the house,
yes,
drinking and partying, and
it's that word galore.
Galore.
Damn, I haven't used that word I think in so long.
I think last time I used that word was in the 80s.
Oh wow.
Galore.
Like the word gargantuan. It reminds me of Kill Bill. Remember that scene?
Nope.
You infatuated with Kill Bill, right?
All I remember now is, hi, I'm Buck. I'm here to fuck. That's all I remember right now.
I have another one that says 3 people were stabbed at a New Year's Eve party in 2016. It's tradition in Daytona Beach to close down Main Street so everyone can bar hop on New Year's Eve. December 31st, 2016 was no exception, and partygoers were out in full force celebrating the New Year. 32-year-old Robert Mesaros was one such partygoer who was bringing in the New Year's with his fiancée. Mesaros would later tell police that he was startled to find police in the area, so naturally he took out his pocket knife to make his way through the crowd. In the process of making his way through, he managed to stab 3 people, including his fiancée. All 3 had not...
Excuse me.
How? Like...
When he got to his girl, he was like, I'm sorry.
All 3 had non-life-threatening wounds. Mesaros was arrested on charges of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. How do you explain that one? Like that? Excuse me.
Yeah,
coming through. Coming through.
Thing is, he pokes his girl, yo.
Yeah,
pokes his girl.
Excuse me, babe.
People. And I have the last one that says 36 people died from a stampede in Shanghai on New Year's Eve in 2015.
Oh, didn't that happen recently too, right?
Did it?
Last month, I think it was.
Yeah, there was a stampede.
It was like a party. It was like a concert or some shit, and like 115 people died.
I think it was here in the States.
No. That was one in China. The one here in the States was the one with that rapper. I don't know what was.
Oh, this dude.
Astro World. I know the concert was called Astro World.
Yeah, that's
Oh
yeah,
my
that
God.
dude.
He's with the one of the Jenners, and yeah, I think a few people died there, but there was one recently in China. Go ahead, read the story while I look for it.
It says on New Year's Eve in 2015, a vast crowd had gathered to go to the riverfront promenade in Shanghai, China. While one group was attempting to reach the boardwalk, many more were trying to leave on a staircase, and a stampede ensued. 36 people ended up dying in the incident, while 49 others were injured. Investigators blamed government agencies for the accident, citing an ill-prepared event for such a large group of people. The group of over 310,000 people was there to witness a light show which has been canceled earlier that day.
Wow.
Shit happens.
Yes, shit really happens.
Yeah, look, the one I'm saying was this happened in October 29th.
This year?
Yeah. This happened in Seoul, South Korean capital. 140 people died.
Oh wow.
And it was a Halloween party, and turns out horrific. Yeah, crush kills 140 people and injures another 150 people.
Wow.
Yeah, man, that's why I'm not good with crowds like that, with these huge crowds. Like, I'm always like paranoid. Not necessarily because of a stampede.
I can't be in a place where you can barely move.
Yeah, like I think about that, just being in a place where I have no control to like run out if I have to. No, I can't. I get anxiety. That's why I barely go to Times Square anymore. It's like I feel anxious. So many people around you.
Yeah, people are crazy, man. And
You
shootings
hear these
everywhere.
people coughing around you, sneezing, and these little kids pulling on your pants.
But yeah.
And then they have the story that you read that's about the dude that yeah. Now I see the picture that you're saying of the dude smiling.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, they have the story about the dude that cuts off the mom's head. And he's like,
yeah.
Yeah, that freaking creepy grin.
All right. So this has been our New Year's Eve, New Year's Day episode.
Crazy shit happens.
Let's name it the New Year's episode. Yeah, you got a little bit of everything here. You got customs and quirks of people, and you got paranormal activity, and you got murders, and you got celebrity deaths. You got a little bit of everything, all related obviously to New Year's Eve, New Year's celebration, New Year's Day. All right, so this has been the Grim Fix podcast. Again, I want to remind you, if you have not subscribed to the channel or to the podcast, now is a great time to do it. Follow the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, comment, drop us a review, subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment, share, like, notification bell, activate it. You know what the deal is. I also invite you, find us on social media. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook as the Grim Fix Podcast. And if you have a story, as you see how today we gave you a variety of topics in the show. If you have a story, something that happened in your town, something weird, something scary, something creepy.
Some naked man rings your doorbell.
Some naked man with a sock around his dick. I mean, whatever it is, stories like that you want us to
president mask.
Yeah, running around with a sock on his dick and a Reagan mask. If you want us to discuss this type of topic, you want to share your story with the world, with our listeners and viewers, please send it to us at thegrimfixpodcast@gmail.com. So again, I hope you have a great and prosperous and blessed new year. To all our listeners and viewers, thank you once again for watching and listening to us.
Yes.
This has been the Grim Fix Podcast. Till next week, 2023, right? Next show will be in 2023.
Yes.
That's right.
Be safe, my people.
Happy New Year's.
Peace.